Radzi and Alison here for day number 2 of the off-the-rail Mosconi Cup series. In case you didn't see the first day of action, it was awesome. Feast your eyes upon it.
The Party Poker Mosconi Cup returned with a bang as Team USA began their hunt for a three-peat over Team Europe at Ricoh Arena in Coventry. The traditional team match got things underway and Europe cruised to a 3-0 lead. On the verge of 4-0, Clint Catchy suffered a shirt foul, allowing Thorpe to seal, and USA's momentum snowballed from there, rookie Chris Robinson sealing a 5-3 win for the defending champions.
We're on the brink of quite a statement. What a start by the defending Party Poker Mosconi Cup champions. They were 3-0 down in the team match to Europe, but then winning 5 consecutive racks.
Filler and Gorst responded in match 2, a doubles clash against Van Boning and Jewel. At 4-2 up, rookie Gorst took on an up-table bank, and the Russian rookie held his nerve to claim the points for Europe.
Into Mosconi as the young man from the Russian capital delivers his first ever point for Europe. Fedor Gorst and Joshua Filler beat Corey Jewell and Shane Van Boning by 5 racks to 2. USA and Europe level on day 1 at 1 apiece.
The first singles match pitched rookie Robinson against Clint Catchy, and it proved to be the first hill thriller of the tournament as Catchy fought back from 4-2 down. Robinson was breaking for the match, but having made one bank on the 8, couldn't make another for the point.
Well, he just took the bank, he took a shot, and he's unfortunately left himself another bank. This is all in. All on red, all on black, all on yellow and black. But you've got to go for this. That's the worst thing that could have happened to him there.
He was so close to victory, so close to partially vindicating his selection. But the 9-ball remains on the table. Catchy breathes a huge sigh of relief. What an immense moment that could be in the 2020 Party Poker Mosconi Cup.
Europe's lead was extended to 3-1 after the next match. At 4-2 down, the US pair of Woodward and Thorpe effectively handed the match to their opponents, Shaw and Ocean, when Woodward played a push-out that he hadn't called, resulting in ball in hand for Europe, who cleared to take the point.
Well, that's a lovely record to have, isn't it? They're pushing out. Obviously, Europe had the option. Oh, he didn't call the push.
I hear you.
Oh no, massive mistake. They've given Europe ball in hand.
That gave Albin Ocean the chance to give Europe a 4-1 lead in what turned out to be another hill thriller. However, a dry break in the last put Ocean back in his chair, and Shane Van Boning cleared the table to cut USA's deficit to 3-2.
He's held himself together well in this rack. Huge pressure. A simple 9-ball. Day 1 will finish 3-2 to Europe. On reflection, probably a fair result.
For the Americans, everyone knows Shane Van Boning is the big man on the Mosconi Cup campus. Boy, did he deliver there. A masterclass from 4-3 down. Played beautifully in the last couple of racks. It is overnight 3-2 to Europe. For the USA, it's a cause for relief.
Alison, before we get into the nitty-gritty, so 3-2 as things stand, what did you make of it?
I actually called 3-2, but it could have been the other way. It could have been 4-1 very easily on either side. It was a day of drama for sure.
It was. How do you think the players responded to having no crowd, by the way?
Well, it seemed the focus wasn't fully there, maybe. They had tough playing conditions. Like neither team really got rolling on the break, figured it out quick enough.
Yeah.
And the speed of the table.
When you say figured it out, what do you think was the issue?
Well, they're all hitting the ball differently, and I think today you're going to see them come in having figured out the table, how it plays, who was the most successful, what were they doing. They'll have a team talk about how to get the break right, because that's the imperative part of the game, is to break the balls, get a shot and run out.
Thank you very much for that. Let's talk about the team match, the first match, and Shirtgate.
That's a
Catchy.
no-no, isn't it? We were 3-0 up, Europe was 3-0 up.
Right.
And he had a clothing foul, so he was leaning over a ball, and the referee John Lehman was in the right position and felt like it was a foul, called a foul. The Americans get ball in hand, run out, and then that match completely flipped around.
So in that scenario, you've got the Europeans that think it wasn't a foul, and they're adamant about that. The Americans think it was a foul, and they're adamant. So what does the ref do in that scenario?
Well, the referee's decision is final. You could maybe play it back, but from where we were sitting in commentary, it did look like a clothing foul. So, you know, it's the referee's decision is final, and you have to take that.
The tough thing is the ref can only be in one place at one time, and if he's not in necessarily what one team deems to be the optimum position, it could cost a match.
It could. That's the luck of the draw, though. He was in the right place. We couldn't actually see if the clothing was on the ball from where we were in the commentary. You could see it was covering the ball.
Yes.
But was that one side or another? We don't know. But John felt it was right, and he called, you know, and that's what you've got to go with.
Referee's decision is final, and that's part of the reason why we like sport, because you can never predict it.
Yeah.
However, match number 2, the doubles. What a debut it was for Fedor.
Yeah, it was great. He was paired with Joshua, and they paired very well. I thought it was nice because you've got Joshua who's not scared of any shots, and then you've got Fedor's come in, his debut at the Mosconi Cup, and he lost his singles match disappointingly for him because he missed that 2-ball, I believe, in the corner pocket. So it was nice to get a point on the board. I'm sure that was a little bit of relief.
When you are about to do that, when you are thinking, okay, I can actually win this at my debut, are you nervous?
Oh, for sure. Got to be, but you've also got to be single-minded about why you're there. But he came with that nice long bank at the end, and that was the match where there was actually the most disparity. I think it ended up at 5-2.
Right, yes, indeed. But that was as a rookie. Congratulations to Fedor.
Absolutely.
The other rookie, Chris Robertson, it wasn't to be for him in the following match.
Yeah, Chris did all the right things. He did all the work, and then he got down to the 7-ball, and he overran it for the 8-ball. And I talked to Chris after the match. He said, "How did you like the 7-ball?" And basically, he said in his own words that he didn't prepare on the table exactly where he wanted the cue ball to stop. He had a massive area to play into, but he didn't say to his mind, "I want the cue ball here." He didn't visualise it. And often you think, oh, if I land in a certain area, I'm fine. But this table's playing fast, and he overran it. And unfortunately, that cost America a point there.
How many shots in advance are these guys playing, by the way?
Well, usually you could look at the table and see where the problems lie. And if it's an open table, you're usually 3 shots. 3 shots ahead.
And if you're aiming for an area, are we talking the size of a basketball, the size of it? What are we?
Well, his area was the size of a basketball, unfortunately. It was a 2-rail shot, and he overspun it, and the table took off. But he was in an area where the 8-ball was into the corner, and he went 1-2, and he ran down here almost parallel with the 8. He had a massive area here, maybe 2 basketballs.
Right,
maybe.
okay.
But yeah, it was. He's got to be very disappointed with that.
Is he possibly thinking about the finish line at that point, thinking,
Oh,
I
for
can
sure. You've got to be thinking about it a bit. You're still a bit tense because you've still got to make the balls. But for sure, he's got to be thinking, I could get a point here for America.
Well, it helped with the drama for sure, and then drama really ensued in match 4. My goodness, that push shot. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to pool, so can you explain what happened? Because to me, I saw a bloke say something.
Yeah.
The referee wasn't quite happy with what those words were. So what happened with Skylar Woodward?
Well, there was a players' meeting the day before, and John Lehman, the referee, made it very clear to the players, I have to hear, if you call push out, I have to hear it so that I can declare it on TV, so the viewers know what's going on. Now, unfortunately, from the commentator's box, I could hear them discussing the shot, and I heard them mentioning push out, but they didn't declare it when they got to the table. So Sky went up to the table and just made a push out, but that's not good enough. You have to let the referee hear it so that the viewers know what's going on, and that's the way to play the game. If an official's there, the rules are, he has to hear you declare that push out.
I have to say, one thing that's really nice is seeing the kind of embrace afterwards. So the team really get behind their man and almost say, well done, it's not to be, keep going. There's a lot of support. You've
got to stay present because, like Jeremy said, the match, the whole event isn't won on or lost on day one. So you've got to take it all in, everything that happened, and I can promise you that will not happen again. The clothing fouls and the push-outs, because they were big lessons.
How important are the moments before the actual matches themselves begin? What will the players be doing?
Well, I'm sure they're going to be nervous, but we could see cutaways into the practice room. So they're warming up. The players that are about to come out into the venue are warming up and getting psychologically ready. Whether that be relaxing, I saw some of the guys juggling in the practice room. They're relaxing or they're intense. It depends on your personal character. And I'm sure the coaches are having words. You've got maybe the vice captain in one room, maybe Alex, the captain, down at the venue, so they can trade out places to work with players before they go out. But no doubt there's butterflies.
I have to say, looking at the training area of Team Europe, Carl is keeping everything so calm and chilled out while the matches are actually going on. Fair play. The Blackpool box office is very much back. Yeah. Finally, match number 5. It looked like it could have been a classic, and it was good.
It went right to the end.
Right.
Albin had to be really disappointed there because he had a dry break at the end. So he broke the balls, nothing went in the hole, and Shane ran out. Calmly and coolly took the point for America.
And does he sit down after that, Albin, and sort of think, why did that happen?
Yeah, he didn't play as well. He missed a 9-ball early on in the match, a cut down the rail. Very uncharacteristic. So he made a few errors in that match. But Shane jumped on them.
We mentioned one of those shots. There were so many shots throughout the 5 matches that were worthy of merit, and let's take a look at them right now.
Come on, let's go! Putting the Moscow into Mosconi.
Left spin on the ball, try and get the back of the 2 and then move on to the 9. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. And he made it. Nice shot.
Missed pots I've ever seen in the Mosconi Cup.
Lovely shot there from SVB. That was intended. You could see him lining that up.
Especially a lot of the younger generation. Very nice jump there. I think if he did, he would probably just have to jump because swerving the ball.
But he's playing the combo. And he's made the combo. Great shot. And just in case.
Just a flavour of the incredible shots from yesterday. By the way, Fedor to do that as a rookie, unbelievable. But I'm delighted to say that we are joined by the MD of Match Motorsport, Emily, there's a massive smile on your face. You are happy.
Wow, what a night to just start off with. It was just such an overwhelming feeling for everyone here in the Ricoh Arena. So I have no idea how the players and the teams must have felt. You sort of see them go back up to their practice room. They're all happy, you know, some beers in both camps. No one's down in the dumps, which is always nice to see. I think in our experience in the last 5 years, you've seen them sort of heading back, heads down. None of that last night, which is such a good feeling because 3-2, happy with either way. It's competitive, and that's what everyone was saying last night when they were tuning in. It's competitive. I mean, there's a few balls being missed. These pockets are tighter, but I think it's great. The event is just, it's different in there. It is very different. Luckily, we've got obviously a great broadcaster in Sky Sports where the crowd noise is good and it's coming across really well on TV. It is so different in that arena. I mean, we've all been in there ourselves, and you're sort of sitting down there, and I couldn't go upstairs at some point because you're sort of nervous as to what's going to happen. Is there going to be a loud bang over there and it puts the players off, for instance? But the walking music is quite high in there and we're trying to get them pumped up, but the players feel very, they were nervous. And I think a lot of people kept saying, Europe on paper, they're so strong, such a strong team. But they were nervous yesterday. Everyone could see it. And obviously so were Team USA, but they just have this relaxed sense about them. I think it's so much that we've spoken about them being a team. But Europe were very, nervous. What a night.
What a night. Possibly a reflection of the captains, by the way. Alex and Jeremy, two very different characters, but you mentioned competitive. It was also slightly controversial. The Eklund catchy shirtgate. Talk to us. What were your thoughts?
Well, I was down there and look, I backed John Lehman. He's our tournament director. He's best referee in pool. If he says it's a foul, it's a foul. Obviously, Catchy doesn't think it's a foul. I think he said that Team USA were agreeing with him. Team USA were not agreeing with them because obviously I went up there and asked them myself. And he said in his interview, and it was quite funny on Sky and how they replayed it, because and I was standing aside from the studio watching his interview with Andy, and they were asking, he was going, no, not a foul, not a foul. And then they kept showing different camera angle. I think it was a foul. And he was just like, no. And even in his post press conference that he was doing at the end of the night, definitely not a foul, definitely not. But look, it is a controversial thing. And I think Alice and I were just chatting about it earlier. And it's one of those things. They know that it's the rules. They know these rules. He should have just tucked his shirt in. And he was playing around with it before the shot. So he knew that there was sort of an issue there. And he should have noticed it. He's better than that. But he's also done very well out there yesterday. And I was rooting for him to do well. I think he'll be a strong contender. He'll put that aside.
He absolutely got across the line yesterday. In terms of a general vibe about the players, how are they enjoying this whole thing?
I think it's nerving Team Europe quite a lot. You see it a lot backstage, the likes of Jason Shaw. I don't care what he said in his press conference that he's ready without fans. He is not ready without fans. It is 100% affecting him out there. You can see it when he's upstairs. He hates it without the fans. I mean, we all hate it without them. But I think it's affecting Team Europe. I think it really is. Team USA are kind of cool about it. They just seem a bit more relaxed, whereas Jason, no, I think it's really affecting him.
Why is that, Alison? What could you put that down to?
I think it's actually favoured, like you said, America. Less pressure. They've got a rookie on the team who is a great player, Chris is, but this is going to favour him, I think, because I think 2,000 fans going at it would have been tough. So I think it's more relaxed for them anyway, coming to our country here in the UK and playing in these conditions.
By the way, how do you feel with home support versus away support? Because if it's home support, you could argue there's kind of expectation, there's pressure, but if it's away support, they're wishing you the worst. So
yeah, I think that plays into it too. But I think, like you said, on paper, Europe are a better team just because of their results, their championships between them all. But that also adds pressure because you're expected to win. So, you know, it's how the mental game plays a huge part. And like you said, they're on edge a little bit. And that 3-0 lead in the group match, and then to squander it on the clothing foul, really, because that just turned the dynamic around, that was huge. And that was the beginning, and it's nice to get that point under your belt.
And everyone was expecting Chris to just go out there and brick it. I know he had that tough match out there, and you kind of were rooting for him a little bit to get that confidence about him for the rest of the tournament. Yeah. But he has kind of turned around to everyone and said, no, I'm here. I'm an extremely good player, and I deserve to be in that arena. Yeah. But no fans, I think personally, is favouring him. We were here at Ali Pali in 2018, and I mean, the UK crowd would be absolutely slaughtering Skylar and Billy for their hair. They walked out in the street in London. Oh my gosh, people would be like, what is that? Is this like, are they filming a TV thing? Is this like a joke or something like that? And I say it to them, they're like, no, like the girls at home, they love it. And it's just like, they don't hear, like, trust me. But I think they would be getting absolutely slaughtered. But Skylar was saying upstairs last night, he was like, I love all of that. It gets me pumped up more. But I really do think it is affecting Team Europe, and I think we're going to see. I was going to bed last night, and I kind of walked past a room where I think Alex and Carl were having like a private chat, and I didn't kind of sit there and try and listen to it at all. I, went sort of thing.
No,
but
not for a
not at all. It's not like me to listen in. I think the tensions are high. I think a lot of people are expecting 5-0 day one, 4-1 day one. That's not happened. It's 3-2. Yes, they're in the lead. But Team USA, they're showing some strength. They're showing heart. They're showing passion. Oh, it's exciting. I can't wait for the lineup.
Press conference, by the way, it's added a little bit of needle to things. And one thing me and Alison were talking about yesterday is the fact that the fans can possibly decide that head-to-head that everybody wants to see now.
Exactly, and that's why I love the fans' choice. And it's going a little bit different than what we expected. I know. So I hope that everyone's sort of just tuning in, because I think that's why it's great that we do it on day 2. Because we let everyone watch, see how the players are reacting, see what happened on the press conference. Obviously, there's all this stuff between Jason Shaw and Shane. I tried to get it out of them. I've got no idea what happened.
Oh, really?
No idea. All I know is that he thinks they're all a bunch of snakes, even including Tyler. So something must have happened last year. I do not know. I will find out this week, and I promise
That's your goal.
I will let everyone know. But that press conference, oh my God, I come out of it and I was like sweating. I was like, that felt very intense.
It was intense.
But that's why we do these things, and we would never have got that kind of reaction and stuff from a couple of years ago. So things have changed for the Mosconi Cup, and I think that's why people are loving the event even more so, because it's not just a 4-day event anymore. It's a whole year, and you're just getting excited, you're getting pumped up. I just can't wait for these lineups to come out, and I feel like Europe probably know their whole lineup for the 4 days. I feel like that could be sort of like a vibe, and Team USA are sort of going as, what do you think?
You get mentally ready. I think the idea is to get your players mentally ready for what they might be doing. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like, do they regroup after day 1 and look at how everyone's doing? Not sure. I think you're right. I think USA can just move around, go with the flow with who's feeling it. But everyone has to play singles. There is a certain structure. People who played on day 1 can't play singles day 2, 3, 4. So it has to work a certain way. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're saving some strength at the end as well.
Might any players say, listen, can you put me out there? I want to go out there now, or equally, I don't feel ready. Would that be a dialogue they'd have?
Definitely. I think there's going to be players who like to be the front runner, and there's going to be players who like to be the back runner here. So you're playing, probably putting maybe less experience in the middle somewhere. Or I noticed they got the feet wet of Chris and Kutchi. They put them out immediately. So that was to get their feet wet and get them going with the event.
What do you think about Corey Jewell for this? I think everyone always says that, he lacks a bit of confidence, and he came out and played obviously with Shane, and he seemed to be playing a bit more confident, but...
Well, he missed a few balls. There's pressure probably with playing with Shane too, because Shane's competing all the time. He's on the table all the time. And Corey is a little bit shaky, but he is, I think he's an 11-time Mosconi player. I think he's been in it so many times. He's experienced, he knows what to expect, but he is one of the older players on the team now, because the teams are so young.
Well, yeah.
So confidence can play into it, and the fact that they haven't been competing, that definitely showed yesterday in all the players.
I think he's 43 years young, old Corey Jewell.
That's old in pool world now, apparently. Oh dear.
Alison's actually making a comeback. Me and her were talking about it yesterday.
It's on camera again.
Again, yeah, you heard it here, folks. I'm like Stephen Hendry.
Good. His comeback, who knows when that's going to happen. But
Yeah.
Final question. We know you're a perfectionist. We know you want things to improve. What can we see even more of over the course of this week?
Oh God, I don't know. I think we just need to keep it exciting, and there obviously we've got a long list of notes that we've taken from yesterday that we need to obviously change and sit down with Sky and see how that's coming across on the programme. Obviously we've got our sparklers and our fire in there. It's just trying to make it exciting for the players. I think they now know what to expect out there. So what I'm hoping from the teams is that there'll be a bit more communication in between them, make that their sort of home camps. Like to try and divide them a little bit more, because it is getting very intense. Sort of them sitting out in the arena, keep them upstairs, practicing a little bit more. I think it's great that viewers at home see them in their practice room. I think that's something that we've not really done before. So silver lining to everything, things like this, the COVID situation, we can bring new things in like that.
Right.
And I think you just get a different dynamic. I mean, I went into the Team USA practice room when Chris Robinson was playing his match. And Shane, like, no one would have expected this a couple of years ago, but Shane was there and he was like fist pumping, like with Billy there and Skylar, and they were getting all like hyped up. And it's so great to see that, because you would never have seen that from the likes of Shane. We all know that he feels more confident about his team and that he genuinely enjoys the Mosconi Cup a lot more because he has got a stronger team. But he walked past the media room, he was like boxing with Jason Shaw on the screen. You just get a bit more sort of animation out of him, and hopefully we can keep building the tension. I'll keep putting the needle into both camps. I mean, honestly, I go into Team Europe, I say a little bit of shit there, and I go into Team USA, and it's just stirring things up a little bit. At the end of the day, it's a competition. We want them to fight for their lives in that arena in there. So let's make a few little improvements, tweaks here and there. But I think we smashed it yesterday. No crowd, but it was exciting. Everyone tuned in. Can't wait to see what the viewing figures are like. So I think we've got a good week on our hands.
We'll find out what the viewing figures are, but we do know the scores on the door, so it's just 3-2, one match in it, everything to play for. This is about two things. It's about player experience and your experience at home. Whatever you do not miss it. Sky Sports Mix at 6:30 Greenwich Mean Time and on DAZN as well. Emily, Alison, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be back here same time, same place tomorrow.